All right, so here is another My Little Pony Generation 4 episode idea. Now, this is from a collection of ideas that I wrote back in 2018, around the time that Generation 4 was reaching its final season. We were at like season 8, probably halfway through it, or right at the end of season 8, going into season 9. During that hiatus, I was thinking, hey, why don't I just come up with a bunch of different episodes for My Little Pony Generation 4 and see if any of them actually end up happening? Because if any of them actually end up happening, that'd be pretty cool. I predicted an episode. That would have been really cool. None of them actually ended up happening, but I do have 8. And we're at number 6 right now. This episode is called Jealous Abyss, and it's about Scootoloo. And I want to preface this video by saying that I wanted to see an episode like this because throughout like some of the later seasons in Generation 4, they kept almost implying or teasing that something was going to happen with the Cutie Mark Crusaders. Something was going to happen with the Scootoloo that maybe made her evil temporarily or something like that. Especially when they were being told the stories of the fabled ponies like Rockhoof and stuff like that. When they were being told those stories and stuff like that, Scootoloo does straight up mention, like, I don't know what I would do if I turned evil on you guys or anything like that. It seemed or felt like it was implying that Scootoloo was going to somehow become evil later on in that same season or even in the next season or something like that. Because they do stuff like that sometimes in the show, surprisingly. In the comics, stuff like that also happens, and even stuff in the show happens where the other two Cutie Mark Crusaders, they don't really listen to Scootoloo as much, or they don't give her as much attention as she probably deserves or needs or whatever like that. There's a lot of cases where Scootoloo is almost left out of the Cutie Mark Crusaders in some cases, especially in the comics. They've done that more than once. There's an entire comic based purely around that. All of these things combined to make it seem like something was eventually going to happen with Scootoloo where she got fed up with it and turned on them or something. And that's kind of where the idea for this one came from. With that said, this episode starts with Scootoloo exploring an area in the forest with the rest of the Cutie Mark Crusaders. It's going to be part of some kind of blank flank camp thing that they do. They're going to have blank flanks there, trying to get them their cutie marks and hiking or camping or any number of these things like that, right? And so they're doing this. They end up getting to this gap, like this huge crevice or this huge hole or something like that, and they can't quite get past it. And they ask Scootoloo how her flying is going, and they tease her about not being able to fly and stuff like that. And they basically pressure her into actually trying to fly over this crack or this hole or whatever you want to call it. She finally does so, but when she does, she falls into that hole, and it's super scary, and it's freaking her out and stuff like that, and she falls into it, and then we cut to the intro. Now, after the intro, we find that Scootoloo is totally fine, but down at the bottom of that crevice or that hole or whatever, she finds a strange artifact. Now, this artifact could be a necklace, something to go around her hoof, maybe even a scarf or some kind of wearable piece. For the sake of this video, I'm going to say scarf and necklace, or mostly necklace. But she takes that necklace and she gets out of the hole with it. With the help of her friends, of course. Her friends are going to help her get out of that hole. She gets out of it, and they mention that Scootoloo is wearing this necklace, and they're like, oh, what's up with that? And she's like, I don't know, I found it at the bottom of the hole. And they're like, well, let's go find Twilight. Maybe she knows something about it, right? And so they take it to her, and she can't find any books about it. She can't find any information about it, and she looks at it and inspects it and stuff like that, and she's like, it doesn't seem to have any magic or anything like that either, so I guess you can just have it. So Scootoloo decides to keep it. She decides to keep this necklace. She slaps it on so she can be almost like Apple Bloom a little bit, or like some of the other characters that have like a special thing that they all wear and stuff like that. So now she's a little bit more special and a little bit more unique. She has like a little special thing, right? And that's her reasoning for keeping it and wearing it and stuff like that. Now, of course, they go about their day, and then the day ends. We're just going to cut straight to night. Scootoloo is dreaming, and we see in her dream that she's flying while wearing this necklace, and she's flying totally fine, of course, because it's a dream. And then she runs into Luna because, you know, the dreams are her realm to wander and help ponies with and stuff like that. You know it if you've watched the show. Luna immediately recognizes the necklace that Scootoloo is wearing, though, and she immediately is like trying to stop Scootoloo. Like, she immediately tries to get it off of Scootoloo, and the necklace kind of acts on its own accord a little bit and blasts Luna straight out of the sky. Now we get to see Luna wake up immediately, and we also get to see Scootoloo wake up immediately. Scootoloo is very excited because she notices something about herself and something that has changed about her. We don't get to see it, obviously, yet, so she flies through the town. Different people are looking up at her, and they're like, oh my god, and they're like, their mouths are dropping and all this other stuff, and it's like this big reveal of like, what's going on? What's happening with Scootoloo? And obviously she can fly now, right? That finally she meets up with the Cutie Mark Crusaders outside of their treehouse, and they're shocked about the wings. They ask her about the wings, and Scootoloo explains she just woke up like that and made her fly, and then we can see the wings now, and the wings themselves look a little bit like Luna's wings. They're very large. They have a little bit of Luna's color scheme to them, but they kind of fade into Scootoloo's color scheme, so it's not as obvious. They're just like, I don't know, maybe it was just a growth spurt or something like that. Maybe that's just what it is. I don't know. We are getting older after all. We got our cutie marks recently or something. I don't know. They could just make some kind of joke like that or something. And so they just decide to go about their day. They go inside the treehouse to kind of do their meeting and everything like that. And inside the treehouse, Scootoloo's wings keep crashing into stuff, knocking stuff over. Her wings are a little bit too big and she can't quite control them and stuff. So they decide that it's best to have their meeting outside instead. And so they do. They agree it's a good idea. While they go outside, Rainbow Dash notices that she has large wings now and rushes over and is like, yo, Scoots, what's up? That's crazy. Or something like that, right? Obviously, I'm not writing the dialogue here, but they talk for a minute, and then Rainbow Dash very much wants to know how fast Scootoloo is with these wings, so they decide to try it out. And so Scootoloo agrees, and they race, sort of. I mean, they try to race. Scootoloo is obviously much slower than Rainbow Dash for obvious reasons, right? So she loses that race or whatever very easily. Rainbow Dash comes back to her and honestly tells her that it wasn't very fast, but hey, we can work on it. I mean, your wings just came in, right? So we can work on it a little bit. Scootoloo, instead of like accepting that or whatever like that, gets really angry and yells at Rainbow Dash, saying, well, we can't all be as fast as you. Then the necklace or whatever glows, and so does Rainbow Dash's wings. None of the characters are going to notice this, obviously, but both of those happens, and then immediately after they stop glowing, Scootoloo zooms away super fast, like way faster than Rainbow Dash just was. And then Rainbow Dash is confused at how Scootoloo was suddenly so fast, and is really confused, and she's like, okay, maybe, whatever. And so she tries to fly away, but she realizes now she's very slow. Which she is very upset about. Then we get to cut to Scootoloo, who is flying by, and she runs into Fluttershy, helping some ducks or some other animal like that by talking to them, helping them through some kind of issue maybe. They talk for a minute with Scootoloo and stuff like that, and then Scootoloo gets mad that she can't talk to animals and leaves again after, again, her necklace starts glowing. Fluttershy instantly loses control of the animals, and they go crazy on her. Maybe they start attacking her, or maybe they destroy something that they were working on together or something like that. Any number of weird, funny things could happen with the animals immediately losing control like that, but I think definitely that would be what happens there. Scootoloo passes by Rarity, and her necklace glows again. Then she stops by Pinkie Pie, and her necklace glows again after talking to Pinkie Pie a little bit, because Pinkie Pie stops her and is like, hey, you gotta try this new cupcake I invented, or something like that. And she tries it, and she loves it, and she's like, I wish I could bake that good, or something like that. And again, her necklace glows before she flies away again. Then finally, we get to cut to Twilight's map room with the main six seated in their seats having a meeting. It's going to be that same night, or like close to that night or something like that. Most of them were upset. They're all yelling over each other and all this other stuff. And finally, Twilight calms them down enough to learn that Rainbow Dash lost her speed, Pinkie Pie lost her cooking talents, Rarity lost her inspiration, Fluttershy lost her ability to talk to animals, and Twilight tries to figure out why. And then she cautions Applejack to be careful, because the same may happen to her soon. Because it would very much look like an attack on them. Right around that time, Luna would finally show up and explain that Scootoloo has found the necklace. I don't know exactly what name to give it. It doesn't really matter, but you could call it the necklace for now, for the video's sake. And this necklace, she explains, increases jealousy in any pony that wears it, and then takes what they're jealous of from who they're jealous of. So the main six decide to find Scootoloo in the morning, but Luna says it would be far too late then, because when she saw her in the dream, she also took her ability to control dreams and like do all that dream stuff. She took her dream abilities, and will likely steal so much power from ponies in their dreams tonight that she'll be unstoppable. So we need to do something now. So hearing this new information, they decide to head out immediately, and they run straight for her immediately. We see Scootoloo, maybe she's sleeping on a cloud or something like that. She lands there and she decides to rest, and she's about to sleep, whatever like that. And she dreams. We get to see her. She's in like this dreamscape or whatever like that, and she finds this locked door with chains and shit like that all over it and stuff like that. She breaks the lock and is about to enter, but right when she does, the main six find Scootoloo in real life and wake her up by trying to remove the necklace. Now, this locked door is important because you might need a little bit of context for this locked door. This locked door is specifically from Friends Forever issue number 20 from the Friendship is Magic comic line series. I'll put up some images from it here. But in this one, Discord was like having some sleepwalking issues, and Luna decided to help, and then Discord had one of these rooms specifically locked up and stuff like that, and that was a super important room to him and stuff like that. And this would be kind of similar to that. It'd be basically the same room, right? Because it's Discord. They obviously try to take the necklace off of her, but they can't. She wakes up, obviously, with her eyes glowing white while blowing everyone away. Scootoloo says she's jealous of Twilight for being a princess, and then boom, Twilight's wings and horn disappear, and the horn appears on Scootoloo, along with some random crown. She then uses the horn to zap Luna out of the sky, and Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy too, and then she stomps a hoof on the cloud and zooms off, creating a sonic rain boom in the process, which I think would be awesome, because that would more imply that she took Rainbow Dash's abilities and stuff there. I think also, like, in between them chasing after Scootoloo and stuff like that, Rainbow Dash would complain a lot about not being fast anymore. Anyway, Luna explains now that it's probably too late, and the only way to stop her is for her to stop herself. So Twilight thinks for a second, and she realizes that she has a better idea than to do that. She says that idea, and then we just cut straight back to Scootoloo, who is finding another place to go to sleep now. And she dreams about the locked up door again, and this time she successfully breaks the chains and opens it and finds Discord, who is having a tea party with Fluttershy, except Fluttershy is like dressed super fancy or something like that. Maybe Discord is too. Discord notices Scootoloo and attempts to snap his fingers to use his powers to stop Scootoloo from invading these dreams, because it's weird. Like, even in the dreamscape, Discord still has like some kind of effect or some kind of power. I don't know. It was a little bit weird in the comic, but it's besides the point. Discord tries to snap their fingers to stop Scootoloo, but it doesn't do anything. Scootoloo says that she was always jealous that Discord could do whatever he wanted, and then she wakes up because the main six have arrived with Sweetie Belle and Apple Bloom. And Sweetie Belle and Apple Bloom are trying to convince her to take off the necklace and stuff like that. But Scootoloo says they're all just jealous, like they've always been jealous of Sweetie's voice, for example. And then boom, Sweetie Belle can't talk the same way anymore. It's all scratchy and like a bad voice, maybe even just swapping with Scootoloo or something. And now Scootoloo talks. Amazing. Maybe just swap their voices entirely here, probably would be a way to do that. But yeah, she stomps a hoof and makes gravity disappear around them, showing off some of the Discord magic that they just took and stuff like that. And yeah, the main six try to hold Scootoloo down and try to find some way to stop her in some way, while Sweetie Belle and Apple Bloom try to convince her to stop. Eventually, though, Scootoloo, first, obviously, Scootoloo is going to continue to use her stolen abilities to try and fight them off, but eventually Sweetie Belle will convince her and will successfully take off the necklace, and Scootoloo will be the one to smash it, which will then reverse the effects of it and give everyone back their abilities and stuff like that she stole and stuff. And then they may talk a little bit about it and a little bit about jealousy or something like that, and then the episode would end soon after, and that would be the episode Jealous Abyss. I think this would be an awesome episode just purely because we didn't get a payout on that whole, like, weird jealousy thing, or any of those weird, like, small almost hints that something was going to happen with Scootoloo. We never got a payoff to it. I think this could have been a great place for them to go with the Cutie Mark Crusaders too, is have them have this big fight. I love the idea of this necklace or this artifact of some kind that can steal the abilities of things you're jealous of, and then it just slowly makes you more and more jealous of more people because it takes over a little bit. I love that as an idea. Especially, it would be awesome too to see the main six try and use, like, not their abilities to stop someone, because, you know, they obviously use their abilities to stop everyone usually. Like, they're flying, they're using magic and all this other stuff. It'd be nice to see them all on equal playing ground where they all don't really have anything special they can do, trying to stop this person. That's becoming pretty powerful. But overall, I think it'd be pretty cool. I don't know. I've always loved Scootoloo, and I definitely would have loved to see more with Scootoloo, and this would have been something to do with Scootoloo. You definitely could have, like, done this in many different ways as well. They could have stopped them a different way. Maybe they like, Luna knew something else about the necklace and found some artifact to counter it or something. There's so many other ways you could have told this story, but I really love this. Again, written several years ago here. I have a couple of more, though. I have two more. I'm not going to tell them in this video here because it's already gone long enough, but I have two more episode ideas for Generation 4 that I wrote down back in 2018. And if you guys would love to hear those or see those, let me know in the comments below. Definitely subscribe and share the video around and stuff like that. And let me know if you guys have any ideas for episodes that should have happened in Generation 4 but didn't, or any episode ideas you're expecting to see in Generation 5. Maybe I can make some videos on those as well. That could be a lot of fun. But until then, please do like, subscribe, share, and do all those wonderful things like that, because when you do wonderful things like that, not only do you get access to wonderful content such as this, but you also get to become one of yourself, and I think we all want that. So do those wonderful things, and until next time, stay wonderful.